So I think we have with us Anand Agarwal. Uh, Anand, I think, is one of the largest manufacturers for Parle. They work with Parle for manufacturing the biscuits. And I don't know if you do anything other things. I'm sure he's going to mention. And Barun is from Jupiter Laminators. So I think what we will do is I'll request each of them to again introduce themselves a little more in detail and then speak about the topic which they're going to talk about. And yeah. So, and after that, perhaps I'll add my comments, and then so we'll have, and then any questions we can take 5 minutes at the end of the thing. So I'll start with Barun.
Yeah, good afternoon now. I think I'm between the lunch and this session. So quickly, it's my privilege to be there in CII, this program today, and happy to share that I've been with the packaging industry for 32 years now, and I'm an IIP alumni. And I have my last stint erstwhile was Nestle, and then for 20 years I was head of packaging South Asia region, and then my after superannuation I took this responsibility of Jupiter as chief technical officer, Jupiter Group, and recently now I started my own with six veteran packaging industry player. We are starting a consulting packaging end to end, and this is from September. We just entered into this, and definitely like to add value to this industry. That's the whole purpose. After many years in the packaging industry, we should also give to the industry what it is, and it is not. It is the best time I can say to the industry, because we see that multiple fold of actions are happening. Sustainability is always been discussed, and we have been working on packaging for all the time with that in mind. Today, innovation used to be the key forefront topic in all packaging. Later on, it has becomes innovation with sustainability in mind. Then something which is always there with us is the packaging excellence, because without packaging excellence, I think nothing can happen, because end to end total cost of ownership is what all packaging industry players are looking at, and that is how my whole journey has been. But I have worked with Ranbaxy as my career in the beginning as a research associate, and then I moved to Himalaya Drugs as head of packaging and then I joined Nestle for last 20 years, and then now with, as I mentioned, that I started my own as well as with Jupiter. I'm doing consulting for this as a technical expertise in their field. So that's what, Mr. Reddy, what I can say about myself.
Sure, I think we'll come back to certain questions. Start.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. So I introduce myself as some of the oldest biscuit manufacturers in Hyderabad. So our unit started in year 1979. This is a family business what we run. And then again in 92, we joined with Parle. And since then, now we are with Parle only. And we have four biscuit manufacturing units in different locations, doing 7,000 tons of biscuit per month for Parle and various products. So we are actually end user. So here it was a learning, then more than sharing what I can say. And we used to pack biscuit in tin boxes in earlier days. Then it came to naked packing of transparent naked packing. Then it came to wax wrapper packing. Then it turned now to BOPP. So changes, continuous changes are coming, and to improve the quality of the product as well as shelf life of the product. So what we come across different improved packaging, such things like DRDO has come with a joint collaboration with Ecolastic, who had supplied these plastic bags and all to Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. So there, it means I have in contact with them to do some changes in our packaging if they can do, where they are reducing the microns of to maintain the rate of the product. They are reducing the microns, but it is a degradable plastic. It is made out of PBAT and starch, as well as calcium silicate in portions which they decide. And it was first heard in Indonesia a few years back in 2017, when we came to know that there was an ad showing that I am not a plastic, so it is totally degradable. So now it is available in Hyderabad, in Chellapalli itself. So it can be useful for all of you. Then recently I came across Nilofer tea, where they are giving parcels in carton boxes, and inside it is a foil. Then they are supplying water in tins rather than plastic bottles. And we enjoy our favorite Bandi Italy in plates made out of coconut shells, coconut leaves and all. So even now straws are made out of papers, and we do have this lollipop sticks used in confectionery units made out of papers, which have been converted from plastic to paper. So these are all things we do come across. So we, being an end user, can give this much input to you, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Anand. I think, given your experience with Nestle for last 20 years and now working with a packaging material manufacturer, so you have insights both from as a user and also a producer. What trends are you seeing in terms of people asking for what kind of packaging material, or what kind of packaging innovations people are looking at, particularly in the food industry?
Yeah, thank you. This is, I think, with experience, what I have seen, because Nestle has a very detailed program on packaging excellence. So, when first thing we looked at sustainability, we were asked to rethink on the packaging. I think this is something which is very critical to initiate any reduction process of a material. And then we had also seen that reduce, recycling, these are the activities which can be taken up. But what about some of the contaminants? Because we are catering to the dairy business, the food packaging business, which is very, very sensitive on any interaction with any contaminants, any kind of products. So there we are asked to first look at all the negative list removal, which was the key about colors, about the material which is non-food, which is food sensitive, which can interact with foods. So we were addressing all the colors which master batches should be removed in the packaging. I think that is the first step. Then it came that rethink of packaging. Even during COVID, this point came up that all the chips packets, which was quite heavier, bigger size packs, how do you cut down the headspace? So this is where our first step happened, is that single-use plastic or single-serve plastics, we started reducing our pack sizes, which is like the stick pack, Nescafe stick pack, if you have seen. The journey was started at I think 105 now it is at a 90 and this can go to the 85 level, because in parallel the machines works were also on. So whichever the machine we were selecting, it was also supposed to be compatible with the monomaterial structure and the size reduction with the speed. So always that was in the mind, that whenever you are putting your footprints in the packaging, sustainability should be there, and sustainability end to end. Like, it is not that we are just looking at the machine, but we also started skilling the workers also. Because a change from a polyester laminate to a BOPP laminate itself was a humongous task amongst the operating staffs, because they are running the machine day in, day out. When they realize the sealing window is reduced with a BOPP material, the entire skill, the people were, first when we all as a head of packaging or team members go there, we used to communicate to them that this is a better material, this also has a puncture improvement, etc., etc. But end of the day, they said that the machine is not running. What can we do? Once we worked on the machinery, that is how the things, they started believing. And also you have to make them believe that innovating a packaging material needs patience as well as the collective approach to the problem. Like all the factory people, everyone should come together to support the packaging initiative towards sustainability. So this was the thing. Then we also looked at many of the areas, like I'll tell you, when we talk about packaging excellence itself, today what is happening, the artificial AI and technology we have to embrace, right? So all the new technology which is coming is already inbuilt in the machine. Then we have to look at, with this, what happening, that lot of packaging in the quick commerce need to be supported with sufficient packaging quality, which will take care in the short supply also, but without over packaging doing. So e-commerce, quick commerce, this area needs to be very quickly addressed. I think there is something which is, work is going on. And a lot of data analytics is happening today to collect information from demography point of view, usage point of view, dosage point of view, and also the marketing insights. Like which urban rural market is behaving which way. So our marketing team is constantly evolving this AI area to see that how can you gather more information and put your product in those segments. I think the small packs should go there, the family pack should be in a different areas. You know how this entire journey should be looked at. So if I conclude that from Nestle experience and my today's converting industry, I think what we are doing is we are bridging the gap now. How to support user industry through the experience and through the learning of converting industry. How can we support them on the machinability, successfully running the material on the machine consistently? I think this is where as an individual or whoever comes from a consumer brand owner team to a converting industry, this helps a lot to bridge the gap between their understanding and give them a right material, right structure, and also make sure that they understand, we understand the machine of theirs, the brand owners, to run it comfortably and in a quality manner. So this to me is a lot of add-on area, and every brand owner should look at converters to a sense that today affordability is becoming a day-to-day requirement, but affordability from sustainability point of view, I think today's morning discussion also happened, that there has to be a leadership to drive this, because cost cannot be always the area which will be discussed in sustainability, but it has to be a collective way to push forward, because challenges are something which needs to be taken together. Because it is not just, because today if you see 2070 is the net zero target, but then there is a vision to it, but we have to all collectively work together company-wise to drive packaging initiative and making sure that the targets are met in definite time period. Like if I take a monomaterial transition of Nestle business or any brand owner business, they should fast start moving those material which are successfully implemented. Even at a delta cost of 5%, 7%, they have to take this heads on. Only then the innovative material comes into picture. And only then the recycle or reusability will come into the picture. Because government regulation talks from 25, 26, 27, 28, 5%, 10%, 20% of different category to be recycled, reused. Now, how do you do that? It needs a commitment, it needs a leadership drive to take charge of it. I think this has to be an area which is gets shifted because commodity prices goes up or the availability becomes an issue because the demand is going down. So somewhere collectively, round table, CEO conference, all the areas we should discuss how to have a implementation plan in a robust way. Thank you.
So I think in food packaging, still I think a lot of it is laminate packaging, which in a true sense is not recyclable.
Correct.
So how do we move from here to something which is genuinely recyclable?
So
At the same time giving the food the required shelf life.
I'll tell you, flexible packaging has answer. India is I think, one of the leading flexible packaging country. And we have all the solution with us. We have BOPP, CPP, we have MDO-PEP in the sufficient quantity. We have high barrier quantity. Challenge is, what is seeing paper moving to replacing plastics. That is still a challenge because when you put it in the market, during the distribution logistic, it gets, cracks, looks shabby. This has to be addressed by paper. But definitely flexible packaging monomaterial solution is available. It is only the decision by the brand owner. Take the bulls by its horn, and we are there to support. There are enough supply available in the flexible industry to convert packaging. Because I was there on the other side, I knew all the suppliers are there. We have the best of the companies, Exxon, Dow, DuPont, Borealis, whoever you name it, they all have very good sustainable roadmap. Exxon, everybody. We have to just get into it. There is no material availability issue. It is the more of how sincere you are to make this step ahead. I would use the word sincerity because everywhere this is moving little away every year on year. I think commitment, sincerity, and hand-holding and collaboration. If this happens, industry will go really very well.
Today, are there any companies manufacturing biocompostable material which is good for food packaging?
Yes, we have biocompostable material in India.
Not as carry bags, but I'm saying as primary food packaging.
See, first of all, I think bioplastics and biodegradable plastics and normal monomaterial of same polymer. I would say first step is to do right same material combination. If that is done, our recycling stream will be saved. Because biodegradable will definitely is a linear economy. We are talking about circular economy, and circular economy means you have to go from, use the raw material and then finally again use the raw material back into the system. So that's why we are asking for chemical recycling, pyrolysis, then solvent-based recycling. If this technology comes, you get a resin which can be reused again and again. And this is what the guidelines from CPCB is coming, Ministry of Environment. I think it is very clear that linear economy we don't follow, we go for a circular economy. And when it comes to cost model, definitely biodegradable plastic will be 3x, 2x time higher. Best is do the material journey first, which is not to that extent, expensive to convert from non-monomaterial to a monomaterial structure. Once that journey is there, because you have a barrier to control, you need a functional barrier, and you can't just do it with a biodegradable right away. So let the compostable being used in one area, which is carry bags, and other areas, which is definitely the area to be looked at. But when it comes to food packaging, recycle content, PCR content, these are the things which you have to encourage. Today in the PET bottle, mostly it is being used recycled plastics. Post-consumer recycle has already been used, but what about the flexible packaging? Next step is to move to the flexible packaging and recycle content. If that is there, virgin plastic reduces, your plastic reduction reduces, but at the same time, you are moving to a sustainable journey.
Thank you. I think that was very insightful. So Anand, I think you have seen the journey of biscuits being packed in tins to transparent to whatever paper-based, waxed, coated to BOPP. So what do you think is the next step?
Next, we couldn't find anything very closer because our is a mass product, which is more value is to be very less to it should be consumable to the mass people. So we are looking for things, but unless something comes, I cannot answer.
I
for
know
it.
it's fully optimized. So what will be the cost of packaging for that 5 rupee pack of yours?
It will be hardly 50 paisa.
Oh, 50 paisa. Okay. But that's still high, right? For a 5 rupee packaging,
yes.
10% packaging cost is
Definitely.
high. Because I think typically, at least for us, it's about 6%, of course. We are a
Yes.
premium product company.
Now, as everyone knows, Parle has not increased the price since 4 decades.
But they've been reducing the
Yeah,
grammage.
reducing the grammage. They have no other go. Means
I know, yeah.
they have to maintain the quality, but they have reduced the grammage. Earlier, we used to get 100 grams in 5 rupees. Now, today, we have 50 grams in 5 rupees. So that's the problem every food industry is facing. So.
I think both, I think they gave their perspectives, and then particularly Barun, I think, talked about this, circular economy. How do we keep on recycling the same stuff many times so that the ecological footprint is reduced? And obviously today packaging has come to play a very important role because there's so much proliferation of brands. And today I think physical, let's say, stores, a lot of it is getting replaced through e-commerce where people can't actually experience the packs. So, but then when you take a picture, it has to be really nice. And so many startups in food space, so everyone has to stand out. So obviously one is in terms of the packaging material itself and the look of the packaging material, how it's presented to the consumer, that becomes very important. And then we also keep facing the challenge in our own industry, how to make it more and more attractive, more standout. And of course, we also have this funny cases where Diwali gifts, where I think the product cost is 100 rupees and the box cost is 100 or even more. Because we try to do cloth packaging because it's very eco-friendly and then it goes with our philosophy, but there were no takers. Then we have to go for a nice shiny box, and then obviously sales went up. So I think these are the challenges
they say in packaging industry, पहले दर्शनधारी फिर गुण विचारी. First the look of the packet, it should be most attractive.
Absolutely.
And whatever you get inside the material or product, that is secondary.
Correct, yeah. So I guess I think you have another 1.5 day more. I'm sure a lot of experts are going to speak. Unless anyone has got any questions to either of the gentlemen, then we'll wind up.
I have one more things to communicate. I think the entire food industry has to also do a lot of work on communication. I think that is where I have seen that how many of us really see the packaging of today. Do we look at the back of the label? Do we read what exactly has converted today PET into a recycled content or not? You know, not that we all know it. We are using these bottles. But I remember completing the water itself. You drink full water and then throw the bottle is what I feel that is the best practice we should do. I was checking, I was doing this, making the coffee. Everybody individually uses a stick to stir the coffee or tea. Why not we use the same stick, everyone? Does it getting contaminated? No. But 100 of those sticks will be thrown deliberately. So it's the step towards, environment, lifestyle. We have to change our lifestyle towards that. Very, very fundamental observations which I do, and I try to use others to make my cup of coffee, because I feel that every use can be reduced. One stick can make 100 coffees. There is nothing, no need to keep more than so many sticks over there. So that's the point which I want to bring in. That very fundamental thing is how do we communicate in our packaging? How do we communicate at the school level, college level, everywhere? I think that itself, once the awareness comes, brand owners will definitely pay for the increase in the packaging cost, and that is how the converter will survive. Today converters are bleeding, so help converters to survive also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, Mr. Rajshekhar Garu, for that enlightening session. And especially Anand, my friend, and Barun, dear friend from a long experience from Nestle. He has shared his insights. Food processing is the name of the game, and today's industry is driven by 40% of the packaging goes to food and food processing. And food, being the agriculture-driven economy of India, I think this has played a major role, and evolution in the packaging and processing technologies are going to propel the growth of the economy for sure. And doyens like Rajshekhar Reddy Garu, the way they have showed, they set the examples for all of us. And we are very thrilled to have the insights from all three of you, sir. Thank you very much for that enlightening session. Give a round of applause to all the three of them.